back. Here we are going to start off with the permit search in regards to the types of permits that you will be searching once you get online and start searching for your property and actually get to the permit section and with all the breakdown of information. So we want to make this very streamlined in regards to how you go about searching for the right permits in order to see what's going on with the property in regards to the details of the actual permits and the components of the permits itself. So the things that you're going to be looking for the types of permits is the roof, the electrical, the plumbing, mechanical, which is typically the HVAC system related, so that's AC, and any residential additions to the house. So we're going to be focusing on those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 key points. All right, so we're going to start off with our first example, which is 1542 Faircloth. As we spoke about before, we're going to be looking for the roof, the electrical, mechanical, any additions, which we'll point out here. So first we have the electrical. That's one that we want to take a look at here. We have a residential. I will take a look at that one as well. Roof permit. All right, this roof permit there. Also, there's a roof permit here. We're going to only focus on the latest roof permit because obviously the roof has been replaced since 2005. So we're going to just take a look at that. There's another electrical, another residential. A few residentials on here. This house was built back in, I believe, 86 here. So this is the actual permit when the first was built. We don't need to take a look at that. We want to look at the other permits for the residential. So we're going to start off with the electrical, and you can go either from top to bottom or from bottom to top. I like to start from the top because it's the most recent. So let's do that. Let's start off with the electrical. All right. So we want to click on the actual permit case number. Here, we want to read the actual description. It says replace old 150 amp service panel with a brand new one. So that tells me that the service panel was just swapped out. All right, we want to look down here and see if there's any additional information that they have. Sometimes if they also change any outlets or any other light fixtures in the house, you'll see it right here. But simply they just changed out the actual service panel itself. So we should, when we get to the house, we should be able to identify the new service panel. Now let's take a look at the residential permit here. It appears they applied for it, but it has expired. So, and we'll talk about the difference between expire and complete and open down the line there. So it looks like they applied to install a 30-foot by 15 concrete slab in the rear. It looks like maybe for a patio. It was applied for 223.17 here, but has expired. So that doesn't apply to what we need to pay attention to. Let's just focus on the completed status permits here as we go along here because that's most important. The roof was replaced, and if you notice, we can click on the actual permit case and it'll tell us what type of type of roof covering. I shouldn't say shingles because they could be clay tiles, it could be metal roof, it could be all different types of roof covering. But if you read right here, it would say asphalt shingle roof as a description here. All right. So I think all this information just shows when the county reviewed it and passed and everything of that nature. So that's completed. It also says completed at the top here, so we're good. All right. Here we have some more electrical stuff that was done. Let's take a look at that. Okay, we got a pool here. Pool wiring was done, upgraded. Okay. The residential. They did some work to the pool again here. Replace expired in-ground pool with decking on rear. Okay, so they did some things to the decking. And when it says replace expired in-ground pool, the decking, that means they applied for it before with the earlier permit, and and it expired, and they came back and actually replaced that. They had to reapply for another permit in order to satisfy it. And they, of course, they had the county come back, or I should say, yeah, the county come back and verify that everything looks good with the pool decking, and that's why it's in a completed status here. All right, so that looks good. All right, electrical here. Had a few electrical things going on here. We're going to take a look at that plumbing permit too soon. All right, another pool wiring replace. Plumbing permit here. We're going to take a look at that. All right, so primarily a lot of these permits that were pulled were pulled based on the pool itself, just doing some updates and renovating to the pool. Let's go over to the second example, which is 2620 Somerville. And it had inspections and permits on here. So we just need to go to the permits. We don't need to take a look at the inspections per se. All right. So remember, this is a different address. We're looking at 2620 Somerville Road. That's in Winter Park. All right. Well, I like to start at the top. We can always sort these two by dates. So we see that a roof was permit was applied for and completed. All right. Now we can click on the actual permit number here to see if there's any details behind that. So unlike the Orange County, they don't tell you the actual roof covering that was installed on the roof. It just gives you the actual date that it was actually performing. It tells you the square footage of the roof that they actually replaced and everything. So, and it also shows where the county came in and did the dry-in roof deck inspection, and it failed prior, but then they came back and, of course, passed it on this date here, and then the final inspection that was passed too. So that's good. All right, let's keep moving forward. All right, plumbing permit. So some plumbing work was done to the house as well. Let's see if it was actually to the house. See what was done here. All right, and this was in 1996. Plumbing permits passed. All right, let's see if they have any attachments of anything that we can identify. All right, so we're not able to identify what actually was done. We know that something was done because it was actually reviewed and shows completed here. So this is why when you have an inspector that comes into the house and they can identify on the report which type of material pipes, or even yourself, you can go inside during your showing or doing your during the actual inspection time to look at the supply pipes coming through the actual wall to see if those pipes appear to be different than what was installed originally. Most of the time, you can tell new plumbing pipes are have been updated inside a home when you have plumbing pipes running through the attic, because of course when you repipe a house you can't run it back through the slab because it will be first of all too costly to do that. It's easier just to run it through the attic space and down into the wet location. So that's a good way to tell that if the pipes have been replaced. All right, let's keep going here. Residential roof permit. All right, we already found that roof permit was replaced. The latest one was replaced in 22. So we won't go to see another roof permit. No need for that. Now they had some residential new construction here, but that was expired. Plumbing permit. And that is about it. I don't see any other permits that fits the category of additions, except for this one here. But again, that I took a look at the status. That's expired, so there's no need for us to dig deep into that. So we're strictly looking for roofing, electrical, plumbing, mechanical, residential additions or repairs to the house. And now in the next lesson, I'm going to talk more about the differences between open, expired, closed, or complete. I'm going to talk about the differences and what you need to be looking out from that standpoint, because it is very detrimental in your transaction when it comes down to the closing. I'll see you in the next lesson.